Hello and welcome back to the Creation Motivation channel. This is at Lose and Maintain. I am also on a weight loss journey. You can follow my blog. And today we're going to go ahead and wrap up the vacation series I was talking about, vacation and weight loss, as summer is coming to a close and wrapping up, and we're getting into the fall season. So we talked about eating on vacation, all the temptations that are there, all the high calorie treats and things like that. We also talked about activities and ways you can, counteract the bad foods and the indulgences and get even more enjoyment out of your trips. For most of my vacations, I find myself doing absolutely nothing and just relaxing, which is really nice to do as well. But sometimes you gotta get out there and do stuff too. And this one, I wanted to talk about when you gain weight on vacation. Sometimes it can be a lot, and sometimes it's not even real weight gain. Okay, this is gonna be a little controversial because a lot of people view this as an excuse, especially when they say, oh, I have this weight gain, but it's actually water retention or salt retention or fluid retention. And it does. It kind of feels like an excuse. If you just look at the show, My 600-Pound Life, every episode, these people go in and they want to get the weight loss surgery, and they go and have their appointment with the Dr. Now, and he tells them you need to lose this amount of weight, and in 2 months come back, and if you've shown me that you can lose weight successfully, then I'll give you the surgery. And then what they'll do, they'll come back a couple months later for their next appointment, and they'll actually, instead of losing weight, they'll stay the same, or worse, they will gain weight. And a lot of the times, if you pay attention, the excuses are usually that there's water retention from the edema, or they ate too much salt, or just every little excuse in the book. And Dr. Now does not put up with it. He does not put up with it at all. He's basically usually says something along the lines of, in order to just maintain your current size, you have to eat thousands and thousands of calories per day. So he shuts that down way fast. In order just to maintain, they got to eat this huge amount of calories. And the fact that they gained weight means they're still overeating quite a bit of food. So in that case, I can see that this can be used as an excuse a lot of the times. And I've probably used that excuse as well. But I did a search on it, like everyone else does, the famous Google search. I did a search, and it says that this is an actual physiological process that does happen. So, okay, going back to vacations, right? Let's say you went for 7 days. You were lucky. You got a full week, and you decided to indulge a little bit, but you also want to try to maintain your weight or stay in a certain area, or maybe you will allow, a little bit of a gain. So let's say you decide to overindulge and have 200 extra calories per day over maintenance. So if you add that up, that's 200 times 7 days, that's 1,400 calories over maintenance. So if you go off of that calculation, a pound of weight gain equals 3,500 calories, around that number. So you have to eat 3,500 surplus calories over your maintenance calories to gain an extra pound. Because your maintenance calories, as you know, it supports your body, it supports your energy, it supports your everyday, day-to-day life. Even sitting and standing burns calories. So you have to eat 3,500 extra calories per day just to gain 1 pound. So with the 1,400 calories, you wouldn't even gain 1 pound, right? But then you read all these stories about people coming back from vacation, or even just on a day-to-day basis in their journey, where they'll have this huge gain. So after that 7-day trip, you get on the scale and you see you've gained 5 pounds, and you tracked it, and you only ate a little over maintenance every day, right? But how are you at a 5-pound gain? Like, where did that even come from? That's crazy. So I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's probably not this extreme, but I'm just trying to make a point that this does happen. It's happened to me where there were weeks on my journey where I thought I was doing well. I thought I was pushing to the max and doing my best, and only to see this huge gain on the scale, or a random gain, or just stay the same, usually a plateau. And you see this all the time on Biggest Loser as well, another reality show out there. The weight loss contestants where they compete to lose the most weight and win a prize. And when they weigh in, sometimes they do really hardcore weeks, really epic weeks, and they do so good and they're so convinced they're going to have this huge, huge number. I just was talking about Daniel on the black team, and he was so convinced he was going to lose, double digits, over 10 pounds, right? And he ended up only losing 4 or 5, I think. And he was just shocked. Like, how? He couldn't believe it. It does happen. You do see it happen in real life. Okay, so disclaimer again. I am not a scientist at all. I am not a doctor. I'm not any of that stuff. I am just a normal average person on a weight loss journey as well. And I like to read about it, and I'm interested in these things. But from what I was reading about, your muscles can actually hold on to water. They have what's called glycogen. Glycogen, basically it stores energy and water and carbohydrates and things like that. And I'm really sorry if I'm butchering these or anything. I'm not going to get too into it because I don't want to spread misinformation. But basically it's energy in your muscles. And when you do really hardcore workouts like the ones on Biggest Loser, and you really push your muscles to the max and you're breaking, you're tearing them, all of that stuff, it can lead to retention. And it all comes down to water retention. It's the same with other retention, like salt, sodium intake, water retention. If you eat a lot of salt, your body adjusts your water to balance it out, okay? And I'm really speaking very casually here because like I said, I don't want to get too into it, but it is a physiologic process. And I read that online and I went to all the articles and it's so interesting. And I'm going to read more about it because I'm just kind of nerdy and into this stuff. But when it comes to having to explain it out, I'm not an expert on it and I'm not going to even attempt to try. So there are all these things that can cause water retention. And Dr. Now, he shuts that down as an excuse, but I'm sure he does acknowledge that it does happen in real life cases and especially in maintenance. And when you're at a healthy, normal weight, it does happen. It happens with women as well. Every month, women go through their time. Their body releases hormones and it also causes bloat. It can be a hormonal thing as well. Hormones can cause weight gain. Diseases of the hormones also can cause weight gain. Thyroid problems can cause weight gain that's just temporary water weight. It all just surrounds water weight. It's crazy how much water can actually weigh. Water has weight, which I was reading Reddit and this one person was arguing with people and saying, water, it's just an excuse. It's just an excuse people make up to cover their weight gain. And then everyone was arguing and they were like, well, water does have weight. And it's really obvious. And if you watch Biggest Loser, that same show, they will use water to their advantage. And in bodybuilding, they do the same thing, or boxing, and just to make certain weight levels. And what they do is they chug tons of water. So for Biggest Loser, for example, they will get immunity. And what immunity does is it protects them for 1 week from getting voted out. So to take advantage of it and stretch it for 2 weeks for the next week, the week they can't get voted out, they'll chug a ton of water. Talking gallons of water, maybe two. I'm exaggerating, but I know they drink a lot of water. They drink a ton of water. And what that does is it'll cause this huge jump on the scale when they go to weigh in. The second season or third season, Matthew, he did that and he had a 13-pound gain. I think it was like 13, 14 pounds a gain. And it was just so shocking because everyone was expecting him to lose weight because he's always lost a ton of weight and he always has good numbers. But he has this huge jump on the scale and it's because he chugged a ton of water. And in other seasons, people did it. And I really hate when they do that because I view it as cheating in a way, but I get it. It's gameplay. And I'm not going to get into that in this video, but just making the point here that water does have a lot of weight and it can change your weight, at least temporarily. And that's the crazy part is that the second week after they have gained all this weight, that water drops right off and then they end up having this huge loss. And water weight does go away. It's temporary. Whether it's hormonal, whether you ate too much salt, it's temporary and it drops off. And going back to vacations, after going on a long trip and maybe you indulged and you were tracking the number of calories, maybe you weren't keeping track of the salt intake and the amount of fluids you were drinking or the kind of activity you were having. So say you went hiking and you did a new area, or you went to an event where you were walking a lot, or you went to Disneyland and you walked the whole day and you ruptured your muscles. That all can lead to a temporary weight gain. And that's so frustrating when I start a new workout, like Insanity or Taibo or something like that, or swimming. I went swimming recently and man, my muscles hurt. And it's really frustrating to do these workouts and feel like you're doing something and not see much of a change right away. It kind of delays it until several days later. So if you're like a daily weigh-in person, you might actually see a jump on the scale. Everyone has different levels of hormones, things like that. And I'm not going to get into that because that's physiological, and that's a conversation I would love to have with someone who's well-versed in it. I'd love to talk to someone who knows all about this stuff and can educate me on it. But I'll probably look up some YouTube videos or something later. But the point of this video is vacation is vacation. A lot of the times it's hard to control what your body's going to do. You can make plans, you can plan all you want, and it is going to help. It is going to minimize any weight gain, and you might even actually lose weight. I have lost weight on vacation. I said that before. It does happen. You can control it. You can do your best. You can try to stay at that deficit calorie range, but just remember, especially if you're going to go on a plane ride or something like that, the planes are notorious for causing temporary water bloat or something like that. I'm not even going to attempt to explain that because I don't know how being on an airplane, I guess it's the same thing as if you're stuck in a hospital bed or you're stuck sitting all day at work. I read that gravity can cause water to pool in your ankles, especially when you're sitting a lot, and it can cause a bloat as well. But I'm not going to attempt too much on the airplane thing. I really don't understand that. It's just something similar to that. Maybe someone can explain that to me. I would love to hear about it. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and just know that if you go on vacation or you go to a holiday, you're hanging out with your family, do you the best that you can do, and just keep these things in mind and keep going towards your goal. Keep pushing. Don't let it get to you. Don't give up. If you are stuck in a rut, stuck in a plateau, or you're frustrated, focus on the present and next week and what you can do today to fix this little temporary setback you're in, or temporary plateau, because it is temporary. You can bust out of it. And that's what my problem is I'll get wrapped up in it and think I'm just never going to lose weight again. I'm just going to be stuck here forever. And then I start overeating and gaining the weight back, which is the opposite of what I should do. So take some baby steps today towards your health. Do something for you. Do some self-care. Motivate yourself. Take a small walk. Do whatever will help you get to your goal. Happy goal getting. Have a great day.